Hello, this is Dr. Do again. This video is outside of medicine. Continue reading Psalms. Actually, I finished the book of Psalm from 1 to 150. And this video will be the last video of this book Psalm. I just put everything together, my understanding for this book of Psalm. I think even though it is like a poem or psalm, the form of in later not only the later meaning and also significance, and also my understanding is this psalm is related regarding to the life of David and also people around him. That's the first thing I see. And also around his time, and some of them, probably one or two of them by other authors like Moses or Solomon, and also some other composers or director of music, other authors. But regardless, my understanding is this book of Psalm is regarding to David, who is one of the significant people in the history of this Israelites, the God-chosen people. So the Psalm, from David's Psalm, I see the real. If you count those psalms written by David, the real comes from the anguish, the desperate, the agony, and seeing the unsafe or unpeaceful. I think because he is the chosen one, he is holding the promise, and he saw the depth of human hearts. I think that's probably why he, even though the situation improved when he was in the palace as the king, still he talked about the surrounding nations with this parables like the lions or the Bashan or any fierce animals, and also those snarling, anguish, pits or murs. So those kind of those words to describe the situation, which is real. So it's not just only when he was fleeing the desert, holding the stream to catch on, to sit on the throne as the king, as promised. But after he hold this promise and hold this benison or bless, he still sensed the anguish, agony, and the pressure. I think that's because he has the responsibility. He is the one. Really, I think his heart carried the responsibility all the time. So that's why he sensed those anguish or agony. It's not like, oh, I'm the king, I can enjoy. Probably it's not like that. And he learned this from his lesson. Shortly after he entered the palace, if you recall, he woke up at the noontime and saw the Bathsheba. So that's a big trap for him, and he took the consequences for this and give up the firstborn between him and Bathsheba, according to the book. And also later on, in terms of the throne transition from him to the other son, there's internal conflicts, and even his own family fight against him. So this is so probably he learned those lessons. So from that moment, really can relax, enjoy. But the reality is, he cannot, he couldn't. So he sensed this agony, anguish, and the snarling around him and the sliding, whatever. He used a lot of these kind of words. I think that's because he's holding this responsibility, learned from his own experience, not only from the situation really bad when he was fleeing in the desert, but also from the experience when he was in the palace as a king. And also there's some other, this is the first part I understand, I make my summary. The other things about this psalm actually is not like a chronicle or any books written on the details of history, but this book had a summary. A lot of psalms summarize from the beginning, Abraham, to the Isaac and to Jacob, and to Moses. So this is a kind of history just in the literal form, in the poem or psalm form. So if you read this history, read these psalms, you really pretty much you catch up the history of these people, this group of people. And also at the same time, from reading those psalms written on the history, summarize of the historic event, and see the depths of the faith, I think we, from my understanding, this is not a gift for everybody. Probably that's why they believe they're the chosen one at the same time, and they believe God is what they chose, and they are the one who chosen by God. So this is from the beginning of the psalm to the end, I see the teaching of this philosophy is the faith, to believe this God, do not let go, hold it so tightly, even though one, regardless whether the situation is really bad, desperate, agony, and a life-threatening situation, call for this God to save them. Even though when they are happy, cheerful, even that kind of situation is not a lot. It looks like the psalm. Usually, the situation is really blue and sad, and fear. But when those moments, when the sky is blue, the rainbows is there, they still praise. They do not lying back down. Oh, that's my glory. I got this. But not. They praise this. They dedicate this, all the good things to the God they believe. So this is also another special thing I think about this psalm, the book of Psalm. On top of that, I see the hope. The hope, where is the hope come from? The hope comes from this, reading this, you really can, it's kind of can deep if you really concentrate to read this. You catch individual words. It's like the history is replaying in front of your eyes. From this book, you probably already see that Abraham traveled with family, with clan, from one land to another land, holding the trembling hand to pray for God. In that land was kind of fierce. They sacrifice human, and they probably even, so it's a lot of unimaginable things nowadays. So this, you see that is really, and also you see David, you see a boy, audacious, fearless, and then really use the slingshot to win the first victory, and carry that victory is the promise. Could it be good, could it be bad? If he's not the king, he probably have a happy, ordinary life, because he's smart, he's talented, he can play music, he can write songs. But he, because of that one slingshot, so he carried this promise or the whole life with miserable, on the other hand, glory. So this is about the Psalm, the book of Psalm. It's my understanding, and it's my bias or tunnel vision to see this. And next time I'm going to read the backward. I'm going to read the book of Isaiah, Job, the book of Job. I'm going to read that and see what I can come up with this book of Job. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time.